What's good, guys? It's your boy Hugo the Savage back again for another movie review. You seen the title of the video, White Men Can't Jump 2003, should we call it? Because, yeah, it's a remake of the 1992 classic featuring Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson as Sidney and Billy Hoyle. Well, they ain't got the same last name, but you get where I'm going with it. And obviously, it's a legendary movie. You guys probably seen on the channel already. I did a reaction to the trailer probably like 6 weeks ago. So I'm actually quite shocked the movie came out this quick. I thought it was going to be a cinema release, but it went straight to Disney Plus. So I didn't really want to watch it in the beginning, but then I was like, listen, let me not judge a movie just based on the trailer and the fact that I didn't want it to be a remake and actually give it a chance. So I decided to do this. So this is a remake. They've decided to change up a few things in the remake. So the names of the characters are not the same. The person who plays Billy Hoyle, who's Woody Harrelson, is Jack Harlow in this movie. His name's Jeremy. And the person who plays Wesley Snipes' character Sidney is, I think it's Sinqua Walls. He plays a man called Kamal. Sinqua Walls is the guy from Power who plays Kanan's son, for any reference. And then they've got different wives. Obviously, we got Tiana Taylor plays Kamal's wife. Her name's Imani. And Laura Harrier, I think she plays. Yeah, Tatiana, we'll get to that, which is Jack Harlow, Jeremy's wife in this war, girlfriend. So yeah, the differences between, let's not talk about the difference, let's just talk about the movie in general. The movie's shot great, very colourful, very, very bright, vibrant. They've purposely gone for that. They've tried to keep the feel of what you had in the 90s and bring it into the 2023. I think they did a decent job of a movie, a bad job of a remake, and a classic that should have been left alone. But was the movie terrible? It wasn't terrible. If you take it as a context of a movie on its own, it's a decent movie. You could have it on in the background. Watching it once isn't going to bother you. If it was at the cinemas, I wouldn't have been happy about it, but it wasn't. So for that, it was like, let's get into the acting. Jeremy who's played by Jack Harlow. Decent character. I don't know if it's Jack Harlow's debut as an actor, but it seems like it was. And if it was, he did an okay job. The jokes didn't really stick. He was the funny of the two characters, but the jokes didn't stick. I actually laughed probably maximum twice in this whole movie. And one of them was a reference to something that they mentioned earlier in the movie about Ed Sheeran. And the other time, I can't remember the other time actually, so I could be lying, but I just wanted to give it a chance. And then Kamal doesn't channel any of what Sidney gave previously. He's not funny at all. He's quite serious. Without being too disrespectful, I always thought his acting was subpar anyway, even from Power. So yeah, it didn't really hit. The people who played their girlfriends didn't really care for Jeremy's girlfriend too much. She was a ballerina in this, or a choreographer, and she was okay. I only remember her from Spider-Man, to be honest, Homecoming. I don't remember her from any other movie. She plays Peter's love interest in that. And then Tiana Taylor was actually good. She plays the girlfriend of Kamal. She was actually the supportive girlfriend. The dynamic between the characters was quite weird because they gave a lot more backstory to the characters in this. So Kamal's character, who was Sidney, he is, obviously they're both into basketball, but he was a rookie, almost rookie. He was on the way to the NBA. He was a great prospect. Everyone in the town knows him in LA as the up-and-coming guy in 2010. And then on the day when the scouts came to see him, he got into a fight. And I think he gets arrested, and it kind of throws him off course, and he never makes it. So judging on modern day, he has to get a regular job. He's got a kid, and he's got a girlfriend who's an aspiring hairdresser and wants to open her own salon. But she's very supportive of his dreams, but he doesn't support his own dreams. So she's got loads of belief in him about basketball, and he's not interested. And the opposite side, Jeremy's got loads of belief in himself about basketball, and his girlfriend's not supportive of him doing that because she's gave him enough chances, and he's not supporting her dream now. Because basically he's got 2 ACL injuries. He was a prospect as well. He's still trying to make it to the NBA G Leagues, but she's basically trying to tell him like, yo, this is not going to happen for you. So she's just looking out for him. So that Jeremy character is a bit of a hustler. He's trying to sell these detox drinks throughout the whole movie, hustling people. Yeah, we get where that is. And then Sydney works for like a delivery company, almost like a UPS style. And he's a bit ashamed because every time people see him, they're wondering why he's not playing basketball. Because it's well known, his dad's well known. His dad's played by Lance Reddick, by the way, so RIP him. Didn't even know he was in the movie. Sydney's got these two friends that are with him throughout the movie. Their acting was, I have to be honest, it felt like it was two comedians they found on Instagram who were really good and put them in a movie. And their jokes did not hit. The jokes in this movie all around didn't hit, because I know the movie's called White Men Can't Jump, but first of all, the whole premise of White Men Can't Jump isn't actually about Billy being able to jump, but they do have a part in the original movie where he can't dunk. That's his thing, he can't dunk. In this movie, there's nothing to do with it at all. The only premise you get of White Men Can't Jump in this is he slam dunks in a competition and the annoying friend goes, I don't know what everyone's cheering about, we know that white men can jump, which was a bit cheesy. And that's what I got from this movie. A lot of it was very cheesy. The racial jokes, which I don't find a problem with racial jokes, to be honest, because it's in good jest. It's based on stereotypes, but everyone in it is on the joke. And I think that the jokes are only distasteful when everyone's not in on the joke and it feels like it's bullying. So I didn't mind it. They had this in the 1992 flick, but Billy didn't spend his whole time trying to impress Sydney, who's Wesley Snipes' character. He was actually going back and forth with him. So every time he tried to say something about him being white and not cool, he would throw something back. That's where they got into the stuff about listening to the music and you're hearing him not listening. Whereas in this one, every 30 seconds was a racial joke what didn't land. It was terrible. I'm fed up of people calling a random white guy in a movie Justin Bieber. It's so dead, it's played out, it's not funny. The transitions into different scenes in the movie, the music was constant, and I feel like they're trying to do what movies, when black people wasn't getting a chance back in the day and decided to make our own movies, this is what would happen. They would try and make it in a certain style, low budget, and they would use the music to cover up certain things. Kind of like, is it He's Got a Game, I think, with Denzel Washington. Denzel's a great actor, isn't he? But if you go back and watch that movie now, Spike Lee, it's terrible, because the music doesn't stop, and they just kept running it in this, and it's one of those, man. But yeah, that was the main thing for me. The jokes didn't land, and the jokes not landing is massive because it's White Men Can't Jump. It's a comedy. There was no risk in this movie. The stakes weren't high enough for me. Obviously, the hustling thing was pointless because bringing Jack Harlow in as Billy's character and pretending like, oh, wonder what this white guy's doing at the side of the basketball court and him hustling. Bro, it's 2023. Like, the stereotype doesn't even land anymore because there's NBA guys in the league who are white who are great, some of the best in the league. So it doesn't make any sense. So it's not believable. There's a lot of things what isn't believable about that. When they get to the big competition at the end, the stakes are not very high either. Apart from the money, they don't make me care for the characters really one bit. And that's kind of it. And then as for, I mean, even we had what was her name in the first one? I can't remember what her name was. Billy's girlfriend, but she was great in the first one. And obviously she was aspiring to go on Jeopardy. She was a very smart woman. And Billy was he had a gambling addiction. And they were the stakes. Every time Billy got money, he would gamble it away instead of using it on the family and pushing forward. It was Rosie Perez who played Gloria. So their chemistry was great. I know that Wesley Snipes' wife, Rhonda, she didn't play much of a part in the 1992 flick, but decent. So yeah, I'm going to give this movie out of 10. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Like I said, for a remake, nah. And for a movie on its own, okay, I guess. Yeah, if it was a movie on its own, I'd give it a 5 out of 10, so average movie. But the fact it was a remake as well, you've got a whole storyline to go off. You didn't use the storyline, which is fine, but what you'd done wasn't better, so yeah, man. I've been your boy, Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. If you've watched the movie, let me know what you think in the comment section. If you wanted some more watch-alongs, if you want actual watch-alongs with these movies, let me know as well, and try to get up on the stream. Run.